Kelly Moore, investigators are looking for two men tonight that were armed with handguns. This 16-year-old suspect has been charged with murder and attempted murder. If Governor Schwarzenegger's budget does pass, this could mean 100 additional classes for Antelope Valley College. Bug experts say what you're actually seeing flying around is a crane fly. There's evidence all around me of the recent earthquake here in China. During these tough economic times, not a lot of companies are able to expand or open new locations, but that's not the case for Patent Steel, which opened its doors today in Palmdale. More people are ditching their sports drinks and reaching for coconut water, but is this tropical craze all that it's cracked out to be? We're out here in Palmdale at Thursday Night to the Square, where things are starting to get kicked off. They'll be happening for 8 more weeks on every Thursday night, and as you can see, there's thousands of people here. There's live music. Than I thought. Doctors say there need to be many more studies about the way that chocolate reacts in the human body, but we wanted to find out why people love their chocolate so much, so we headed to See's Candies. According to the U.S. Bureau of Justice, in 2008, over 7 million people were on probation, in jail or prison, or on parole. That's why organizations like Convicts Reaching Out to People, or CROP, have been created. And earlier today, I went to the LA County Jail in Lancaster, where I got to experience the essence of this program.
It's like hell every day.
This inmate will spend his entire life in prison for murder. And he is not alone. Majority of the inmates at this prison will never leave this desert cage.
I never thought I'd have to use one. And I damn sure wasn't afraid to either. I made the choice to take a man's life.
As the saying goes, learn from your mistakes.
You can make these choices and you make them every day. But you know what? You can't choose the severity of the consequences of these choices.
And these inmates want troubled youth to learn from their mistakes.
We've walked the path that they're walking.
That's why they are part of Convicts Reaching Out to People.
It's basically like they're living the same life that I would have been living if I wouldn't have came here.
Research shows that CROP is effective and kids who attend have stayed out of jail. Prison officials say that the CROP program not only impacts the lives of teens in need, but also affects inmates who are doing life in prison.
It gives them an opportunity to really work on themselves.
He says for the inmates who are in prison for life, this gives them a reason to live, knowing that they have something to look forward to, because the CROP meetings are held once per month, and there's a lot of preparation that goes into this program. Hope for Paws rescue organization received a tip that a Palmdale resident had more than 150 dogs and puppies living in and around his desert home. When we met Pete, the owner of the property, he had let Hope for Paws take 100 dogs to boarding kennels to receive medical care.
He had dogs buried underground with newborns, puppies. You know, he couldn't afford nothing. We got Natural Balance to donate so much food, and people came here and transport dogs and fed the dogs.
Pete, the owner of the property, was not arrested. Yesterday, he helped volunteers remove the animals from his home.
I'm a dog lover, for starters, and one of these people has a rough time saying no to an animal or, you know, in distress. You know, you're out here in the desert. It's a pretty harsh environment. I see dogs, no water, no food, injured animals hit by cars, lost, abandoned. There's a lot of situations, all of which, you know, in this environment is a death sentence.
By law, Pete is only allowed 2 dogs on his property.
And anytime I can help or save an animal, I usually do. Problem is there's more animals than time in the day that you can usually help.
According to animalhoarders.org, hoarding is a mental illness, and those who suffer from it think their lifestyle is normal.
This guy lives there and has 100 dogs, and it's a real bad situation. The guy seems like a really nice guy, and all these hoarders do, but when you go to their facility or their house, it's the worst possible conditions you can imagine and still be alive.
Gold says Hope for Paws is picking up the veterinary bill for these dogs, who will hopefully be placed in foster homes, but 35 dogs still remain at Pete's.
All the dogs here are in very good physical shape. For the most part, they're very social. And he's only probably got about 35 left of the 200. So rescues did an excellent job of getting the animals off the property.
LA County's goal is to remove all the dogs by tomorrow with the help of rescue organizations like Hope for Paws. Meet Sophia. This aircraft is everything except ordinary.
Sophia is an observatory for the infrared, which is part of the entire spectrum. The spectrum includes radio waves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, and gamma rays. And so the human eye is only sensitive to visible light.
But Sophia can see beyond the human eye.
This is the only one of its kind in the world, and we're going to be accomplishing things that have never been accomplished before.
Like taking a closer look at our universe. Sophia stands for...
It's the Stratospheric Observatory for Infrared Astronomy.
It has been over a decade since NASA first began its dream towards flying Sophia high in the sky. This flying science center is equipped with a telescope. The telescope was Germany's Aerospace Center DLR's contribution. The Sophia is the world's largest flying scientific observatory, and we're going to go inside and take a tour. This retired Pan Am aircraft will take its first scientific flight within the next 6 weeks.
And it will be looking in the infrared spectrum, which means that it will pick up heat radiation, which leads you to answer questions about the formation of the universe, the formation of stars, the formation of planets. This could lead to some of the questions in terms of the formation of the planet that we inhabit, planet Earth.
The telescope will also study new-forming stars, galaxies that are colliding, and the atmosphere of planets.
Sophia has a telescope that's 2.5 meters in diameter. That's about 100 inches in diameter. And it's floated on this very delicately balanced bearing that allows, with the right control electronics, to point very, very precisely.
This will allow for more accurate astronomical observations. Do you fly at altitudes that are higher than commercial airliners? I know you're flying in the stratosphere. Is that correct?
Right. Well, we're going to be flying up in the 40s, 40,000 feet range, and that's to get the telescope above most of the moisture that's in the atmosphere.
Sophia will be flying over the Antelope Valley for the next 20 years because NASA says this is her home.